Today we are in a very special day in the European Parliament because we just listened to the speech of the Union delivered by President Jean-Claude Juncker. And with this speech and with the debate, we are sending a powerful message to the upcoming European Summit, which will take place in 2 days in Bratislava. Europe is at the crossroads. We can even discuss about the future of the European project. But there is a first choice to be made clearly, and it has to do with the claim made by many nationalistic movements across Europe, saying that now we should go back to national borders to cope with our problems. Unemployment, refugees coming, terrorist attacks, climate change. But who can believe in this kind of promise? This is completely misleading. They are completely wrong. They are driving Europeans to a total disaster. We cannot go back to the national borders. We rather need to have a European Union working much better to protect its European citizens. And this was the central discussion today in the European Parliament. We do need to build up better European solutions. This is for sure when we deal with climate change, and the Paris Agreement should be implemented by all EU member states. This is for sure when we set trade agreements with our global partners, because only with the political weight of Europe we can secure good standards, economic, social, environmental standards in these trade agreements. This is also true when we cope with the terrorist threat, because we need most of all to coordinate our security services and to ensure a real European border protecting us for this kind of threat. But most of all, if you want really to have economic and social recovery, we need to make the best of European scale. And this has to do with the single market, but this has to do with a big investment plan which should be available for all member states to operate and to create good jobs and jobs turned to the future. A future of clean and smart growth. Well, this was promised today by President Juncker. A doubling of the investment plan should be there. But let me tell you, we, S&D Group, we want to make sure that the priorities for this plan are right. The plan should be available for all regions in Europe and should be focused on financing this transition to sustainable development and translating these into new jobs. But let me tell you that this is not enough, because we need to have financial resources. Where can we get these financial resources? Well, the first big thing we need to come up is a tax policy which is fair. We cannot accept multinationals being exempted where most of SMEs, they are overburdened with taxes. This is unfair. And we need to correct this, and we need to tackle any kind of tax evasion and tax avoidance. And then we need to translate this into good national budgets with room to invest, as well as a good community budget. And the discussion is coming very soon. What should be the priorities of this community budget? Again, we think the top priority should be about pushing for sustainable development everywhere in Europe. But let me conclude by saying that if we really want to ensure economic and social recovery for all, we need to go to the heart of the problem, which is still the Eurozone crisis. The Eurozone crisis is still there. We have many divergences between the Eurozone member states. we can have member states with a youth unemployment rate of more than 30%, while others, they just have 5%. So something is badly wrong in this Eurozone. And this can only be corrected if we are able to build up a real banking union, making credit available for all companies to invest and create jobs. And most of all, if we can equip the Eurozone with something all monetary zones in the world have, which is a proper fiscal capacity. We need to have a kind of blueprint, in fact a white paper, to complete the economic and monetary union. This was promised today by President Juncker. We want to make sure this will not be forgotten. So this is the message we would like to underline to be on the table for the Bratislava European Summit.